All right, welcome in Aries to your monthly tarot reading, and we are tapping into May 2025. So we're going to take a look and see what's coming up for you all, get some information and guidance that will help you bring some awareness or just help you for your highest and best good. All right. So we are in Taurus season. So this is the season of the bull. As you can see over here, I have the Taurus up. So the monthly themes and reflections for May. So I started this last month, I think. So I have this amazing astrology book guide, and it goes through the monthly themes and reflections for each month. And I thought I actually really like them, and I thought they'd be helpful to kind of bring them up in the monthly readings. So that is going to be a theme I'm going to do going forward. So for May, the themes and reflections are stability, self-worth, and money. So those three things, I want you all to kind of sit with each of those things and really see what comes up for you. What do those words make you feel? Is there anything that pops up for you? Memories, situations, because those are going to help guide you. So when you follow the rabbit hole of your feelings and emotions, and just let that guide you, that is going to take you to the root of any traumas, any belief systems that aren't serving you, that are actually like a block to certain things, whether it's a block to abundance, to money, to growth, to creating stability, to manifesting relationships that are stable, or just fulfilling for you. So that's what I'm basically asking you to do. Like, for example, when you think about money, what comes up for you? Maybe you noticed you tend to always constantly say, oh, I don't have the money for that, or I can't afford that. If you have children, right? These are beliefs that our parents pass down to us when we're like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, or I can't afford that stuff, or having those conversations. You're actually then programming and creating belief systems for your children that are going to block them from abundance. So, those are just going to help us. The themes and reflections are to help us grow and expand in those areas. So May in particular, with that strong Taurus energy, is going to bring those up for us. And actually, you Aries, you are the last reading I'm doing for May. So thanks for your patience. But also, being the last one, we get to look back at all the other readings and see the trends and the themes. And there has been a strong theme around money this month. That seems to be a big focus for people. So around financial constraints, belief systems around money, just how do we grow and expand in that area of abundance and money in our lives? And, just in general belief systems, this month, for some reason, the energies are really asking us to shine a light on those belief systems that are very unconscious, that are really leading our lives. They are the ones that are actually the core of our manifestation. So if you feel like, hey, I'm not manifesting the kind of money I want, it's because you have a core part of you or belief that feels that's you are literally living. If you look at your life right now, everything about your life is going to mirror back where you feel your worth is and your potential. Like, you have literally reached the max of your potential based on, again, your beliefs, your traumas, your patterns. So if you don't like where you are, it means we have to really look at those parts and help those parts to reprogram and believe that, hey, this isn't my highest potential. My potential is infinite. So we need to break those ceilings that we've created for ourselves, again, based on our, experiences. So take a look at those, sit with those. Sometimes, or I'm even saying like journal, write those down and kind of write what's coming up. It's more important to like feel into it. Like when I think of money, what do I feel? And really start going deeper into that feeling. So if you feel anxiety, why? What is that anxiety saying to you? What does that anxiety want to say? Well, the anxiety is saying, I don't believe that I can have more than that. Or there's a lot of anxiety around money because I grew up in an environment where, we were always struggling. We were always like, couldn't pay the bills. So I'm worried that, maybe you're worried that I don't want to believe that I can have more, because what if I get disappointed, right? If I believe it, but it doesn't happen, then I'm going to, whatever. So let's get into the reading for May. And before I start, if you anyone's interested in a personal reading with me, I have some availability left. So you can go to my website, which is linked below in the description, and you can schedule a private reading on my website. So Aries, for you, I'm going to do something. I'm actually going to pull a card from 2 different oracle decks. So let's begin. What is here? Transcending Atlantis. There's a lot of spiritual wisdom coming to this month, or coming through to people. And then we have discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. And I'm going to pick one more of these. Cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force energy. So this month, there could be some truth that's revealed. It could be like a truth that you learn about a situation or just connection, or this is an inner truth that all of a sudden you get clarity around. I do feel like that what's tied to that is this transcendence. It's this like transcending outside of your current awareness and kind of expanding, getting a different perspective. And all of a sudden there's that aha of, oh, I see things differently. And now I'm starting to understand this a little bit more. I'm understanding myself or a situation. And that's when that can open up potentially that purification. My nail keeps falling off here. So that's awesome. But there's this the cleansing waters really refers to our emotional body, and an emotional cleansing, like a integration. So it's almost like when you can integrate some of those emotions, when you see the truth about them, that's what that can open up more life force energy within you, which then again helps to bring harmony, revitalizes you, but also the harmony is helping us to overcome these belief systems, or overcoming the things that are preventing us from living the life that we really want to live. All right, let's tap into the tarot. We got a flyer here, nails flying, cards flying, 4 of stars. Yeah, so to me, this is the overarching energy for you, Aries, and it is about these blocks. So the 4 of stars really is like, I'm blocked. This can be like protective mechanisms. You really have this block up because you're protecting yourself. Also, I feel like there's this sense of like, emotionally, you don't feel safe in a lot of ways due to your past. And you are constantly, the way you interact with life is based out of those not feeling safe. So you're constantly making decisions or actions or responding to things in a way of, I don't feel safe, and how do I protect myself? And that's that Four of Stars, and needing to free yourself, because that's really heavy, right? When you don't feel safe in yourself, you don't feel safe in your relationships, so you don't feel you're able to really open up from a hurt space. There's that self-worth piece to that as well. Ooh, first card out, Tower. I do feel like the Tower's been coming up. It's a month of Towers. I think there was another sign that had, I think the title I put was a Tower moment too. So we have the Tower coming in. And what is the Tower helping us with? Learning a lesson. Really seeing the truth. This Tower is going to bring truth. It's going to bring some like clear, okay, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this for what it really is. And there's a value in this Tower. So maybe the Tower doesn't show up very well, but I think you're going to see that it does have value. And at some point, maybe it's after the Tower, but you're going to see that it was needed. Seven of Crystals. So this is the Seven of Swords. I'm going to hold on. Six of Swords. The Lover. So there is a decision here, the Devil, to walk away, okay? So this is ultimately a situation that is going to blow up, but it needs to. And it's something that kind of how this is going to unfold here is seeing the value in that potentially there's a situation that you need to walk away from that's not of service for you anymore. It's a very karmic situation with the Devil. I do feel like you've stayed in the situation out of fear, right? The security. There's a security piece to this, is why you've stayed in it. It's safe, it's comfortable, but is it really, you know, transcending? Is this really something that you're expanding in, that you're growing? I think there's higher wisdom needed, that your soul's trying to give to you. And ultimately what this is doing, the Tower is helping you to move forward. There's definitely movement here away, like two movement cards, like you're moving into a new direction. It could be that you or someone else is escaping a situation or trying to get out. When I see the Tower and the Seven of Swords together, I don't really like that, because that means almost like you're like some in truth, right? So something hidden might be revealed to you, and it might not be the best thing. This can be sometimes like a betrayal, learning of someone that's been lying or hiding something from you. If it's you as well, it could be you that's been holding back your truth and hiding something from someone in your life. But there is definitely some energy here around not saying the truth, but the truth is going to come out in May. But the truth is going to be the actual fuel that's going to move you forward. Even though when it shows up, it may seem negative and hurtful, that's going to help you make a decision, okay? And I feel like maybe you've been sitting on the fence or not making a decision. I feel a sense of like indecisiveness. You could be someone that's very indecisive, and it's almost like to really get you to actually make a decision, the universe is always having to give you Tower moments. So that's the lesson too, of like, you need to learn to find the truth within yourself to make decisions and feel safe about the decisions you're making, so that the universe doesn't always have to throw out Tower moments at you. Yeah, there is a sense of loss, grief here. This could be in the past. That could be what needs to be cleansed here, the emotions. This could be a situation from the past that there's grief that you're still holding on to that you haven't really processed. The Chariot and Ten of Swords. Yeah, there's definitely, Aries, you're dealing with a situation that's, you're right on the verge of it blowing up and ending. You know, no one likes to hear the negative readings, But ultimately, like, I think this is awareness for you to realize that this situation, whatever it is a karmic one. It's served its purpose. There was a reason for this, for you to learn some lessons, for you to gain some spiritual wisdom about yourself more, and discovering more truth about your own patterns and your own insecurities that have caused you to hold on to things, not because they're for your best and highest good, but because, again, there's something safe about them. But what's interesting, it's safe, but it's not good for you. You're also holding back a lot. You do have an energetic, like, wall up, especially around, I mean, that's impacting your relationships. And it could be that you're mirroring and attracting people that have the same block. So it's almost like those kind of mirrored situations aren't going to take you anywhere or be successful ultimately, unless both of you are doing the work to really understand that I do, the acceptance of I have a block due to emotional baggage or, emotional stuff from the past, and really work through that. So we have the Page of Swords, lots of swords here. There's a conversation, 7 of Pentacles, and Ace of Wands. So someone's getting fired up about a new path, new ideas. You could finally get the fire lit under you to end something. But there is a conversation here about facing this truth of the grief or whatever this 5 of Cups is from the past. But, there's something you really wanted it to be of some value to you, or you wanted it to be successful. And there could be some facing the fact that this, isn't successful and it's not working out. But ultimately, like, we win some, we lose some. And we can't, even though we can't keep holding on to something just like hoping that it's going to produce something or be successful or work out, but yet we're not doing anything to shift, to say, okay, well, what I'm doing is not working, so let me do something different. But I don't feel like there's that awareness. But I think that's going to come in May. But ultimately, I think this situation, there's a truth of it. This is just a karmic situation. And I don't feel like even if you tried at this point, I do feel like the universe, if you're here listening to this reading, it's kind of saying like this is meant to end, and there's something that you're evolving and you're leveling up to. The next path is going to be a level up, as long as you address this 4 of Stars energy, and address and take accountability of, why do I keep manifesting this, or why did I manifest this situation, and why did it not work out? So 10 of Pentacles. So this really could be tied to family, some family situation, or just familial ancestral karma. There's some kind of conversation about this. This could also deal with money. It could be like, again, when we talked about at the beginning of the reading, like money belief systems that are tied to family, and what are your own financial abundant blocks. 2 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. So to me, this is kind of referring to some connection, relationship here. To me, this is like you've maybe been in a relationship for a long time. There's been a lot of time and effort put into this. And, especially when you're in something that long, it obviously is harder to walk away from. There's more grief. There's more, you know, I like to say, like, when we're with someone so long, we do end up in this, we weave this web together, and it's like the weave of the web is the two of us, and it is harder for us to unweave that. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's going to be difficult. But what's the Six of Cups here? King of Wands, the Fool, Ten of Swords, the High Priestess. It's almost like you know this is over. You've known this is over. You know in your soul that this isn't the right thing for you. You want to kind of elevate yourself. And I do feel like this could be a situation, like I said, if it's around security, it's because you don't have the confidence in the self-worth or self-esteem to realize that you can create your own abundance, you can create your own stability. And I think that's a lesson that you're going through, is learning that the next path is going to be you stabilizing yourself, and that's going to be a huge lesson for you, and elevate your confidence. I feel like your self-esteem and confidence could have been really hit because of, again, the stability. So if you're attaching yourself to a situation because it's maybe stable from like a financial standpoint, because you haven't been able to build your own or like create abundance yourself. But I feel like you know this, you know in your soul, like this is kind of over, like this. But what has prevented you for so long from actually ending or walking away? So the Six of Cups, okay, this could be two different things here. So it could be a situation where someone's trying to offer you some sort of reconciliation here. The problem is, like I said, this is a karmic situation, and usually when it's really like at a root, it's karmic. Like your contract is karmic, you came in, it's not meant to last forever, and the longer you try to continue to stay and make it work, you're just prolonging, which expands the kind of suffering and challenges and prevents you from, again, elevating to the path you're supposed to be on next, which is going to give you, again, transcendence here. So some of you, there could be a connection here, or a relationship where someone's trying to reconcile. They're trying to offer like a new beginning, a new path. There's something here around a move as well. It could be like, hey, let's move and let's start new. Or there's just like a serious conversation. My concern is with the Ten of Swords and the High Priestess is that you know it's over, but you'll take this because, again, the only reason that you're going to continue to hold on is, again, going back to the safety. But you need to learn that you are your own stability, and that you can, because I think that's a lesson you really have to learn to really feel good and to open yourself up and find happiness, is that you need to find that place where you have confidence in, hey, I can do things. I have a purpose. I can create, I can manifest, I can build, and contribute to life, to myself. This, for some of you, like once this ends, this could also refer to like someone from the past coming back into the picture, and that being like a new beginning. So that could go either ways. What's just want to see this Page of Swords. Like, what's this whole Page of Swords just a little bit more clarity about the Five of Cups, Page of Swords, Ten of Stars. I feel like this is family related. Yeah, it's like going back to the stability of the Four Wands, right? It's like the four poles that create stability. So there is conflict here. So this could be what's creating conflict in your current situation or relationship is about, you know, just, it could be about values and what both of you want, and they're conflicting, that you both don't want the same things. But there is some tie here with, for you specifically, Aries, about loss and grief and family that you're still needing to integrate, to work through. And that's also creating a lot of inner conflict. So what's the ultimate, let's see, what's the ultimate guidance here for you guys around the situation to end this off? What's the ultimate guidance? Knight of Pentacles, Steady Eddie, doing the work, Eight of Wands, Three of Cups. There's something about here, I'm hearing like just one step at a time, okay? Like you need to just focus on the now moment. Don't, you know, again, if you're trying to potentially leave a situation that you've been in a long time, it can be overwhelming to think about, you know, about how do I, what's next? What's the future? How does this work? How do I, what do I do? Where do I go? Where do I move? And I think it's just like you need to focus on today and take some actions towards kind of transitioning onto a new path for yourself. So just start doing little, like, you know, research or something little every day. Maybe it's around, hey, looking for a new place to live. Where do I want to move? I do feel like it's almost to me saying moving towards a place where there's people, you know, there's more support, there's more connection here. I don't like that this Seven of Swords keeps coming up. If you're not being open and honest about something, I feel like you need to. There's some sense of, you know, betrayal here. It could be. So one of you could feel betrayed by the other, but I think there's something about, again, seeing things from a bigger picture, seeing things from a new point of view. You could have a viewpoint of things that isn't true. And the truth is really going, it's discovering truth this month, right, for May. So really discovering the truth to a situation, getting more understanding. Let's see, what's the Seven of Swords here? Six of Cups. This could also be that you're just lying to yourself about what it is you really want. Like you could be in denial about, maybe you, again, your soul, you know in your soul that this is over, that this is not what you want, but like you keep kind of are in denial about it because, again, this is safe, it's stable. There's something about that. But ultimately, like, you're kind of blocking your happiness. And it could be that you're trying to run. Oh, this is just coming in. You could be trying to run away from the past. So you're running away and trying to like hide from the past here. And that's kind of what's also blocking you. So for some of you, that's what you're doing. You're running away. And that's kind of been your pattern. That's why you are in the situation you're in. It could have been you ran away and moved somewhere away from, you know, your family, your past. Yeah, like your childhood home place, but there is something of value. There's a lesson that needs to be learned. Like you need to face this lesson, but running away from it, you're not ever going to learn the lesson or face it. Yeah, this needs to be healed. So that's the guidance here. Like, what's next is you really needing to face this and heal this. And you can't run away from it anymore. And it's going to be a process. And it could be a slow process, but it's one that it's what you needed to do in this lifetime. It's one of your biggest steps to transcend your suffering from the past, your grief, whatever it is. You're being asked to do the spiritual work to really transcend, to face the truth, because then the next path is going to expand even better for you. And that's where your happiness is. Like, part of the path is you facing going through this, but this came up in another reading, and I'm just seeing the card. It was like a thorny patch of, essentially roses, but it's just looked like a thorn patch on the card, but she's holding a beautiful rose in her hand. So out of the thorns, there is a rose in this. And you will find it, but you're only going to find it in the thorns. So I'm getting that for you guys as well, Aries. So that's a similar message. All right, Aries. Pretty intense, pretty deep. So this is going to be, to me, a very integral month for you. This is an important month of expansion, of growth. Again, it's maybe not going to be easy from an emotional standpoint or even from a physical, but I think there is some treasures in this month for you. And I feel like on the other side of even moving into the summer, and I'm also getting like by the winter. So through the end of the year, I think there's going to be a lot of changes for you. And I think they're going to be really amazing changes. But this month is kind of that first pivot point of like shifting you onto that path. Well, thanks for joining in, Aries. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Join our tribe here at Lyran Tarot. And definitely stay tuned in for the weekly readings. It can maybe help support you as you work through this. But otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.